The fact that a soldier in the Israeli army, peculiarly a Christian soldier, who's been killed and is now buried, has had his headstone covered by a cloth by order of the Israeli state because it had a cross on it. That's what they think of Christians in Israel. They have an ancient tradition, they call it, of spitting on Christians. I've seen them do it in the holy city of Jerusalem, outside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where Jesus lay and where his blood spread over the stone. I've seen them spitting on Christian pilgrims and nuns and monks. They hate Christianity in Israel, but American Christians sure love them for it.
You know, the donor class, as we call them, the very wealthy Zionists and pro-Zionists here in the U.S. have an iron grip on the American government, no matter who the president is, whether it's Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, or Kamala Harris. They have an iron grip on the Congress of the United States. I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is the chief executive officer of a police state, which is also an apartheid state, which engages in the systematic genocide of the people who occupied the state before his people moved in. It is inconceivable to me that there could be any moral defense of Benjamin Netanyahu, and yet the Congress of the United States of America gave him 58 standing ovations, more than they gave to Franklin Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, Douglas MacArthur, or any other American presidents for whom this nonsense about standing ovations was recorded. There's never been a debate on the floor of the House of Representatives or the Senate about all this money to Israel, and yet the United States government has given them so far $20 billion with a B dollars in military equipment at the discretion of the President of the United States. He or she, of course, could stop the slaughter, stop the genocide with a phone call.
And Tertullian said that Catholic faith and Jewish power are like the two pans of a pair of scales. As Catholic faith goes up, Jewish power goes down. As Catholic faith goes down, Jewish power goes up. Because the Jews have always been, from the time that they crucified our Lord Jesus Christ, they have always been enemies of the Catholic Church. They have always known, they've always treated the Catholic Church as their number one enemy. And the communists the same. They know that the Catholic Church is their one enemy. The New World Order knows that their real enemy is the Catholic Church. And ever since Vatican II, the Church has been on its back, on the canvas, out for the count of 6, 7, 8, 9. The enemies of the Church think the Church is finished. It isn't. The Church will be back on its feet because God doesn't want the Church to be wiped out. And God won't allow it to be wiped out. But the enemies of God, Jews, communists, Freemasons, you name them, the enemies of God don't take God into account. They don't realize who he is, or they take him into account, but they're still determined to fight him to the death, which is what they're doing. Therefore, and God allows that. God knew from eternity that's how it would be, and God allowed for that. If you want to train a good boxer, you're going to give him good sparring partners and not bad sparring partners. If you want to train people to go to heaven, you give them a good fight while they're here on the earth and not a silly, sloppy fight. And the good fight comes from mainly the Jews, because the Jews fight against God. They're clever. God made them clever. They're clever, they're gifted, they're determined, they're resolute, they're motivated. And ever since the Church began, they've been fighting the Church. Therefore, and it's God who allows that for the purpose of making good Catholics. Therefore, if you want to slow down Jewish power, what God allows that power for is to show Catholics how much they're going to suffer if they don't have the faith. Therefore, the real way to slow down Jewish power is to restore the Catholic faith. And it's because Vatican II so undermined the Catholic faith all over the world and deeply that the Jewish power has been unleashed ever since.